There we go. Okay. Welcome. Oh, that's so great. I'm so glad I changed that. That looks wonderful. We are here. Let me drop some links so my peeps can know we're live. Put this. Got some new music from the one and only Kiri Industries. There we go. Put that there. Boom. Discord. Vids and lives. Add everyone. Live stream. Live stream. There we go. And let's get started. Once we get more people coming in, we got one. Who's gonna be the first chatter for our last edits comp of the year? We're waiting. I'm waiting for that message to pop up. Shookbot, how are you feeling today?
It's shooking time.
You know it, buddy! He has not been updated in a while, so we're probably going to hear the same 6 or 7 phrases, but we'll see. Jew, hello! Kieran, what's up? Hey Shookey, hello. Catface. Well, that's good enough for me to go ahead and get started. So, let's just do it. Hop right into it. I don't think... Actually, I'll wait like 5 minutes or so. I usually wait around 5 to 10 minutes for people to kind of trickle in. So, how's everybody doing? How's it going? Hope everyone's doing well, staying warm. Mute that right there so I can have the stream up. Awesome. Petscop fan, what's going on? How are you? Hey people, how's everyone? Closing some stuff down. Actually, I need that open. There we go. Alright, we're all ready to get started. I got my clown makeup on. I looked through my assortment of rather exquisite teas and selected a chai. I don't know if I made this correctly though. I just took some milk and... This is gonna kill an Englishman, but I just took some milk and put it in the microwave. It sounds disgusting. It has this weird filmy coat on the top, and I'm not exactly sure why. But that's not for me to know. Anyways, let's get straight into it. We have our effect. What is up? We have our last liminal edits of the year. Don't have that many submissions, so I can't imagine it taking over 2 hours, or really an hour and a half. And then this is also our Shooktober, although I think I only got like 2 submissions, which is totally cool because I said it was completely optional. And I really only did it because I had gotten a submission from Minty, and I figured, well, we might as well dedicate some time showing that off. Oh, 1 second. There was that and the fact that there was somebody who like explicitly said like, yeah, I'd be down to do this, but unfortunately I think they have not submitted. Well, I know they have not, which is okay. And then we do have some miscellaneous images from one other person who had individually messaged me saying like, hey, this is my Shooktuber stuff. It's just kind of like similar to what they did for did I say Shooktober? Shookmas? I need to get my tea going because I'm obviously not. The lights aren't all on yet. It's a weekend. I got up 3 hours later than... Oh man, I took a sip and that was kind of disgusting, I'm not gonna lie. But what are you gonna do? I would have 100% made an edit, but I didn't have the time to do anything, so it wasn't really the case. Hey, if you want to grab the image and adjust the light values, I'll just still take a look at it and give it as much admiration and respect as I would for any other image. So don't feel like you have to recreate the entire thing in Hammer. But let's get into it. It's now 5 minutes with our first submission, which is not this. It's actually a Shookmas art thing from Minty, who unfortunately is not gracing us with their present at this current moment, but I'm considering... I imagine they'll probably come along eventually. I was so lazy about mine, I made it earlier this morning. Very cool effect. I didn't even know that you submitted one, but I now see it at the bottom of my list, so that's awesome. It's always good to have that. Tormaverse, hello! Lucifer's still hiding. I hope he'll come up by this evening. That seems pretty normal, like normal behavior. As you can see, we swapped our pony on the left side of the screen here to one of my other fusions, and I did this one because, you know, it's winter time and you got to stay warm, and as you can see, they're kind of like this flame pony. So Shooktober's over. We're not using our vampire. We're not using this one today, which is the one that I typically use. We're breaking out the new one. So, and of course Shookbot is with us to grace us with his wonderful commentary, so we can look forward to that. And we'll go ahead and just get into these submissions. Like I said, we have under 30, so I can't imagine it will take us that long. But you never know. It could be a yapful experience. I guess I'll label this one C01 Minty. For, let me do actually H for holidays. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it as a C because it's Shookmas. Trying to be correct with my statements. Anyway, here we go. They took an image and RPG Maker-ified it, if you will. Well, it's just rather, they like, I don't know how they do this, but it's pixelated, and then they drew a bunch of stuff, and they drew a really cool looking Shookey sprite, and there's some words as well. It says, it's been a while, if you can remember this place, and it still looks beautiful, Merry Shookmas. And then there's a little, like, Shookey thing. Very cool. Very cool. And, I think it's awesome. Did you catch a cold? Is it that noticeable? Yeah, I've been sick for, like, a month now. And I still kind of have, like, the morning voice, but I'm pretty sure eventually it'll as the stream continues, it'll either get worse or better. So that's why I have to keep like stopping myself and being like, give me 1 second, because I'm like clearing my throat and coughing and stuff like right now. But welcome, Hiccup. How's it going? Yeah, as Petscop fan said, the dithering, which I think is sick. But this image, for those who are not me and would not have a obsessive memory to know that this was actually, this image is one of the first, this image is like, I think it's the first, no, it's not the first, but it's one of the first ever, thanks Hiccup, images that we edited, ever. Maybe I can find it. I at least know it was from the first ever stream comp, which is wild. Right. And I don't know if Minty was aware of that fact, and it's just a coincidence, but yeah. Let's see. Oh, you know what? It is on a hard drive that is not currently plugged in, but because this is such a good submission, I will do the research, I'll do the work, I'll put in the footwork, and let me go see if I can actually find this, old stream. Which one would it have been? maybe this one, or let me see. Well, that is oh my gosh, June 26, 2021. Nope, we gotta go earlier. Here it is, I think. It's either it's got to be one of these two. So let me just skim through. Okay, it's not this one because this is... Oh gosh, Homer Simpson. Dilmer. Maybe it's the one before. Great music, Titus, by the way. W music. Here it is. Got it. Yeah, I think, honestly, I think this might have been the first ever one. Because I'm looking at the other live streams, which I assumed were the first ones, and yeah, so maybe Minty knew that fact. I think it was the first one, actually. Oh, okay, yeah, so there we have two sources to back up our claim. This is the one that won, by the way. Because we did rank choice voting at that point for these, there you go, the Kitten Boy. Which is, out of date now. It's completely outdated. But it's always good to archive things, you know, look back. Anyway, so, like I said, whether they knew that or not, it's still pretty cool. And of course, there's a insane amount of effort put in regards to everything, the plant, the sprite, text. This is really cool. It's really interesting to see the their style and their take on our character down here. And I always love to see whatever people want to do with it. If they want to give the character like horns or crazy stuff. Obviously that's like a little bit extreme of an example, but you get what I'm saying. It's a clown after all. It's a clown's world after all, right, Shookbot?
This piece of media on screen makes me want to kill myself.
You're such a fun guy, and we're all so glad you're here with us. Yeah, so he hasn't been updated in a while. He's running on some old firmware, so if you want to give me some more positive voice lines, feel free to drop that in the Shookbot voice channel, so he's not just saying the same 6 or 7 phrases. Thank you, Minty. We will be looking at more of your work in the meantime. We'll go ahead and continue. We're going to look at Slime Boy Chris, a classic submitter, someone who I think has been doing it for almost every single one. Well, I know they have, but I'm not sure if they were doing it for, I don't know if they did it for the last one. So this will be the first one, Slime Boy. Thank you, Effect, for teaching me the web file trick where you can just rename it PNG. You are a lifesaver, and it has been the most helpful, handful thing, and has cut down on hours of editing. But here we are with our first submission. Quite the contrast to what we're looking at as an original image, but there is a lot to talk about. So there we go. The god of the lucid mind is here. And they write, "Smile in the crimson sky, from a lucid god who's arrived. The lucid god appeared in my dreams before." That is horrifying. Also, I forgot to mention Minty's note, which said, "Early Shookmas art, not an edit submission, but I might as well show this off during stream. Also, the animated pixel Shookey art is free to use, and a small request to put it on stream, maybe. Probably your choice." You know what? We can do that. We can do that. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat there. I just need to get that, so maybe we'll do that later, or I'll do it though, don't worry, because I like that idea. But this is reminding me, right off the bat, of Winter Lanterns. If you will. Let me pull one up. Just gonna download this really quickly. I'm kind of getting Winter Lantern vibes with this, and you'll see what I mean once I get it over here. Right? With like this whole thing going on. And it's funny because, well, first of all, they're called Winter Lanterns, and this obviously takes place in winter. So, it's serendipitous, if you will. But let me see what our thoughts are as a group. It's an actual cool blend that Suburban and Blockbuster fits perfectly together. Oh yeah, I remember that one. 667. We should make that a Shookbot voice line. I thank you about that every stream. Well, I can't thank you enough. That goes hard. F yeah. It's probably Gemini Home Entertainment. It's familiar. Weird Mageddon. I like it. It's so red. Seems like we're having similar dreams. Cool looking edit. Oh, I see what you mean. Really reminds me of an apocalypse from Gravity Falls. Nice, nice. Yeah, let's talk about this. It's unique. I like the little, like, they're not like cracks, but they're kind of like stream, like aura vibes coming off, and I can see like I'm getting some like pareidolia where like I feel like I'm seeing faces. And they took the open part of the sky, because as you can see, there's like this whole like tree foliage in the background, and that's where they chose to put the main focus or subject. So that's really cool. And then obviously it's a complete opposite color-wise to what we have, where ours is like white and bright. This is like dark, and it's full of heavier colors and one monotone, not monotone, one gray. They feel like veins. That's a good one, veins. I see that. I like that. But yeah, thank you, Slime Boy Chris. Gave us a lot to talk about with this one. Very interesting start already. My second submission for this is Minty, although I'm gonna hold off because we just looked at their first work, and I think I would rather leave the door open to the possibility of which they might come into the stream by chance. So I'm gonna go continue with our next submission, which we have 2 submissions for. So let me go ahead and download that, and then we will talk about it. And I can tell you that I am already liking what I'm seeing in both instances. Once again, downloading it as a PNG. And one of them, I will definitely have a lot more to talk about, just because of personal. Wow, already looking at the spread, and we have such a contrast between edits. But here we are. This is by the one and only, the amazing, super talented Hiccup, who created more of a thematical piece, and I think it's sick. It reminds me of like a movie poster due to the resolution, but I just think this is so cool right off the rip. And if we can take a closer look at it, you can zoom in and witness. There we have like our little fading memory. This is very cool. I don't think I've ever seen something like this before, and it's I feel like it really caters to the overall piece. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of when I'm looking at this image, you kind of get that, like, you know, snow can represent many things thematically, like nostalgia and innocence, and obviously here in this image specifically, the snow is blanketed, so it kind of represents that like clean slate. And so here it's like that image, that essence is personified. Memory or multiverse, yeah, exactly. The world around you turns into one entity. It's proof that Sakazuki really doesn't like Xmas and winter. It's true. Look at Punk Hazard. Speaking of speaking of Punk Hazard, we'll come back to this, but I thought this is a good segue to continue to our next submission, also by Hiccup, where we have a I gotta clear my throat for this. One Piece reference. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever seen a One Piece reference be thrown in to our edits. Well, that's not true. I think he did one with Law. No, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, we got a One Piece reference. Sound the alarms, everyone. We got Monet, everyone's favorite bird girl, who, actually, I'm not gonna continue because I don't want to do spoilers, but gotta say, this is really awesome. You took the theme and you rolled with it, and I love that the background kind of has this like frosted warp effect as to show, like, you know, something like that. What am I? I'm like moving my hands, like imagining you can see my hands, but like a film of frost is what I'm trying to say. Shook dying because of the One Piece reference was too cool, of course. Look, you want an easy way for me to get excited about something, you just have to relate it to one of my interests, and if you don't know that I like One Piece at this point, you must not have your ears turned on. Or your eyes open, for that matter. This is amazing, and I hope that I see more One Piece edits in the future. If they fit thematically. I think this one is a little great, because it does happen to fit very well. But let's go back to this, because I didn't talk about the visual aspects of it. Like the snow pieces. So it's kind of like they're holding it, and it kind of is like holding this like dimension, and then I can imagine like snow particles like warping around it. And of course the hands themselves seem to be either rather formless, or actually no, because I can see the wrist. It looks more like there's the emission of thing is like wrapping around their hands. Freaking sick. Stream watching all 1000 One Piece episodes. Okay. Actually, I was thinking about can I make polls? Oh, well, I have to open up the stream once again because I keep closing it. I'm gonna ask this question while we're all here. Community moderation, participation, reactions, pop-out chat, moderation activity time. You can't make a poll on YouTube? Maybe it's this? Engage with your audience. There we go. Start a poll. I'm gonna type this out. Alright, this is gonna be choppy because I can only do 100 words. And boom. And be honest with your votes. I'm not going to take it personally if the answer is no. Anyways, let's continue. Thank you, Hiccup. This is awesome. This is giving me a lot to talk about. Yuki Snow are in the pool. Stop it. Okay, interesting name. Next, we got Titus, who says reality falling apart. Ooh. Very interesting, Titus. X49. TX49, excuse me. I'm not used to that being the official name change. And there we have it. I was not vibing with that. I'm sorry. Oh, great. The poll is blocking the chat now. Ooh, it's broken. Okay, my brain needed a second. Yeah. Kieran, you're awfully quiet. What's your thoughts on this? I'm so like... This feels like an art exhibit. This part is what is getting me like... There was a lot of I know that this image was the one I did a poll, and this image was the one that won the poll in terms of like what to edit. And I thought that it was going to be like particularly challenging, but it seems rather than focusing on like individual or specific parts of the image or subjects, people are just taking the image and manipulating it entirely, which I guess was something that I had not considered, but it is cool to see, and we're obviously seeing that here with this, and I do like what they've done with the image, although I would like to see the image as itself without all the glitch effects, just with the color changes they made with this kind of like beige, because I think it could make for like an interesting set piece of some type of like frozen in time woods type thing, or like a dying world type, like the beige and browns is what I'm trying to like say. And the slide looks like it's yellow almost. Like I think that'd be I think that would be a cool image by itself. But obviously our glitch things here add a lot. Anyways, we have 10 votes on our poll and 9 viewers. So I guess 11 votes now. Alright, I'll keep it open for a little longer. I just wanted to close because it's kind of blocking the chat for me. Titus, what is up? I want to eat the image. I'm looking. What would the image taste like? A sugar cookie? No, sorry, not a sugar cookie. A ginger snap. But not super hard. But also not super soft. You know? But yeah, this is cool. It is also interesting to find the elements of the photo and see where else they pop up. Like, here's the ladder, and then it's over here, and then it's backwards and over here, and then like here's another part of the open slide, and obviously there's one here, and then the way these kind of stack on top of each other. Seems like I joined at just the right time. Absolutely. Oh, I feel you. Should we start rating images based on the flavor? Ha! I'm down. Shootbot, thoughts?
10 out of 10, no notes.
There you go. Feels like it would taste like a Napoleon cake for some reason. Okay, I get that. Anyway, Titus, I'm glad you're here. Let's go ahead and continue with your second submission. A recreation in Gary's mod with lots of liberties taken. All the custom textures were made by me using parts of the image. Wow, that's so cool. Other textures and models came from Half-Life 2. That is amazing. Oh yeah, look at that. That's so cool. I like this a lot. TX49 submission 2 parentheses 5. Here we go. I love it. It's so gruesome. I think this one would be a little difficult to index on the flavor menu, but we can always give it a try. This is so sick, though. This is background worthy. No lie. No lie. It's so cool and artistic. Shookbot being nice. Gmod. I feel like it would taste like dirt while your mouth is being shocked by a 9-volt battery. I love Source Engine, yo. I feel like this. I feel like Titus's first image would either taste like lemon juice or cheese, but not at the same time. The slides being turned into holes was inspired by Silent Hill 4: The Room. The stone